Back at it, back at the normal time, back at getting it like it's supposed to be gotten. Whatever that means. Oh, lordy, lordy. Oh, lordy, lordy. Oh, so what's new? 2025? Are we 6 days in, 7 days in, 6 days in? Oh, I figured out what that whole New Orleans thing was about. Took a minute. You know, it's been the whole thing has been strange, and like the way that they had the full narrative at first, but then like there's been like little pieces let go since. And so one thing you're finding of the newest narrative is that he was seen filming beforehand. There's videos that exist of him filming locations, you know, basically First Amendment auditor style. So that's what this is about. This is about destroying the credibility, the accountability that we hold over them. Because now, after this narrative gets out that he was filming and he was filming and he was, now you're going to have, because I've always said like one of the things the truth or the First Amendment auditors always says, like, who films themselves committing, like, I'm going to film, I'm going to stand outside very, very visibly and film the place I plan on robbing or something. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Nobody does that. And though they try to, you know, convince you that that's the narrative, we don't know if you're casing the place or whatever. Again, even if it is happening, and that's the thing about giving your ID, when cops demand ID and they don't have a crime, they'll even slip up and tell you that, well, they just want to have your ID in case something comes up fucked up later, they know who to blame it on. But that's also, you know, if something fucked up happens, well, then they're going to blame it on you, whether you were there or not, now that they have your name. And that's what you're going to see with this whole narrative going forward, is that the First Amendment auditors are dangerous. Because this dumbass, you know, he was filming, he was wearing glasses with cameras in them, and he was basically doing First Amendment audits, you know, for whatever, like, it's stupid. What? Just the whole narrative that, like, that he crashed, and that they started sweeping the area around the crash. Well, how did he know where he was going to crash? You know, how did he know he would even get to that point? Like, it's, to me, it really is a poor narrative, and it's, you know, I saw this video, somebody commented about how, you know, we know this whole narrative already, but we don't know anything about that boy that tried to shoot Trump. And it shows you, like, even if you're on, you're still off. You're still stupid. How do you look at the Trump situation, the Trump shooting, and not see anything but a false flag? How do you see it for what they want you to think it is? And for me, the biggest, like, evidence is the lack of cell phone video. Where are all the cell phone videos and live feeds from the Trump shooting? Just like, where are all the cell phone videos and live feeds from this thing in New Orleans? Like, it's 2025. It was 2024, 2025 at the time. People walk around with 2 cell phones on them all the time. People are always live. There's always cameras. Endless security cameras, endless, you know, big idea that he had an ISIS flag all bunched up. Like, why wasn't he flying the ISIS flag if he was trying to be a terrorist for ISIS? It's just stupid. It's like insultingly stupid. I would love to be able to talk to somebody in an official capacity, right? Give me an FBI director or something like that. And obviously, if somebody does come on here and says some shit, you can probably assume it's just some dumb fucking troll clown. But seriously, like, this isn't something we should just be like, that's fine, whatever. No, it looks good. It doesn't. It looks fake as fuck. It looks really, really fucked up. And none of it makes much sense. And there are some key points that are, again, where's the footage? Like, I almost hate, like, giving too much, right? When there's multiple things to focus on, you're then spread thinner than you should be. If you're only focusing on one thing or two things, whatever, it gets all your focus, gets your full attention. Yeah, there are a whole bunch of really fucked up weird things about Trump shooting, the New Orleans thing. But to me, like, the one thing I want to focus on before we go any deeper, we can, oh look, Dumb J, Mary Shlomo's here. The one thing that we can all focus on without any real, like, you don't need to be told anything. This is something where this should be, like, firsthand. And that is, where are all the cell phone videos? Where are all the videos and live feeds? Yeah, offered themselves 3 days later. What's that about? The assistant DA in New Orleans offed themselves 3 days later? What? Well, that don't make no sense. See, like, you see all these things. See, you know what? I can't imagine being a dumb J, being born into that shit, and seeing it for what it is, and still having to be associated with it because of your family or whatever. Like, that's awful. The dumb J's are the worst. And stupid, horrible people. So to think you're gonna have to, you would have to, you have to support that shit. Definitely something fishy about New Orleans. Exactly. Like, I'm so proud of all of you. I'm so proud of people allowing themselves to say these things. Like we all think that way. We do it all the time. Everything that happens, we look and we go, man, that doesn't quite look right. But then we just allow it to continue because, we don't want to get bullied. We don't want to get picked on. We don't want to be ostracized. So we just sort of let shit happen. And we're like looking at it like, man, it's fucking wrong. What the fuck? The world is literally a stage. Exactly. This is the thing that people just don't understand. If it's on TV, if the system, the media, the whatever is talking about it, there's a really good chance it's fake. Just that simple. If it's on TV, you guys remember there was a fucking, in New York, the next day, like within 24 hours, there was a shooting that took 10 people. How come nobody's talking about that? What the fuck was that shooting about? Obviously, they didn't have the ready-made narrative because we're not getting it. But where's all the talk about that?
I saw yesterday earthquakes, 7.0 earthquake in California and Hawaii or Japan, and they're worried about tsunamis or some shit.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything. The assistant DA in New Orleans killed themselves 3 days later. This is just wild, guys. Insane how many people don't even know BlackRock, Vanguard. Yeah.
They did not kill themselves.
No?
They were murdered.
They were murdered. By who?
I don't know.
Well, why are you saying that? Is that just your? I mean, I'm just asking. Did you find something? Did you hear something?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. Just kidding.
I mean, as much as like, fuck, BlackRock is a really hard one because BlackRock is a I believe people are waking up. They are. 2025 is the year of honesty. It's the year we are honest about everything. Never worried about people's feelings. Oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Your feelings won't be hurt if you're in the right. You know? If nobody can hurt your feelings if you're saying the right shit. You're being honest and all that. But when it comes to BlackRock, it's really difficult. Like, you know what? Why don't we look it up? Why don't we look up what BlackRock is, and we'll see how we go from there. Is BlackRock one or two words? It's one word, BlackRock. Oh no, that's different. BlackRock Investment Management and Financial Services. BlackRock Wikipedia. Let's see what they have to say. BlackRock is an American multinational investment company founded in 1988. Initially at 1988, you know, the year that if we were to go back and look, we would see 1988 was a watershed sort of year, like a significant year that sort of gets overlooked. Do you know that on 8/8/88, the NWA album dropped? Did you know that? The Niggas with Attitude album? That's when they changed. Like, that's when the whole idea of manipulating black people into being criminals and pieces of shit really took off. And they used rap ever since. It's really interesting. But there's a lot of shit from 88 that we just sort of overlook. Founded in 88. It was founded initially as an, by the way, don't forget to get your free download. www.the-bilderberg-group.com. It's free. And understand that music is one of their best weapons. And they know it. They know how powerful music is. They fucked up in the 60s by letting the whole hippie thing get out of control. And you could see how, like, politicized music and powerful music was, we like it. We're not stupid. We're not pieces of shit. You know, we don't need to have just dumbass nothing music. You know, sunshine and rainbows and flowers and kisses. We don't need that shit. There's a time and a place, no doubt. But we actually like political music. We actually like music that says something. And if you're tired of all this nigga shoot, nigga kill, bitches hoes, do drugs, bitches hoes, niggas kills. If you're tired of that, go check us out. We don't make truther music. We make good music that tells the truth. There's a big difference because truther music kind of sucks. Music is very powerful. The 808 beats legitimately involve lower frequencies. So, I mean, once we get into all that, it's even more powerful. ELF waves and low frequency, all that shit. Yeah, that's huge. But I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that since 1988, they've convinced not just black people, but white people as well to nod their head yes, yeah, 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 to the worst shit possible. Bitches to the windows, to the walls, to the sweat drops on the balls. Like, seriously.
So dumb.
So, and you got chicks out there singing that shit. You know? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Niggas kill niggas, bitches, yeah, kill them, yeah, That's all on purpose. And you can't blame black people for hip hop, for rap and all that. They don't have the power to be able to make you hear them. They don't have the power to get on the radio and on the TV. That's all the Jays. At the top of Interscope, you have Jays. Jimmy Iovine. Good bad Stokers, though. When you're blah, 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 blah. Yep. So garbage. Because we're trying to rap. That's where you're stupid. On my soul, it's terrible. Oh, yes. Terrible music. Yep. I love it, man. I love the shit that people say. Like, it's just so stupid. These are the same people that won't deny being pedophiles, won't deny being dumb Jays, but will come to tell me how bad my music is. Yeah, go ahead. Like, I never thought everyone would like our shit. Nobody, there's not a single band out there, music out there that everyone likes. And when you have music like mine, which is intelligent, of course stupid people that, yeah, when that's all they listen to, yeah. Of course they're not going to like it. Like that NAMBLA organization. Yeah, why should that even exist? You know, why would that even exist in our society if it wasn't all protected and it didn't go to the highest levels? And see, that's the other thing. When we're talking about the honesty and things, right? Like, Woody Allen. Let's look at Woody Allen. Woody Allen, Ronan Farrow. You know, Woody Allen, we all know that Woody Allen bought himself a little girl from Asia, groomed her entire life, and then fucking married her. That shouldn't just be something that we all know is like fucking okay, yeah, wow. Yeah, you groomed it. Like, can you imagine anyone else doing that and getting away with it? Not being socially, executed? And people do nothing. Nothing. Oh, well, she seems happy. Of course, she's been groomed. She's probably terrified. But there are all sorts of stories about Woody Allen, how he had this weird train set that he would have you lay down and like crawl in this thing with your ass sticking out. And you'd play with the trains while Woody fucked with you from behind. People actually defend him. Well, Jays do. And that's how you know they are all pieces of shit. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you do. As long as you're Jay, they will defend you. That is fucking awful. So twisted, and it speaks to the shared paradigm we all live in. Exactly. Woody Allen is still considered like this great, people talk about him with great reverence and all that shit. They love Woody Allen. The fact that he's not the poster child for who the fuck we should be executing, it's insane. And if he did that with his own daughter, how many young actors and actresses do you think he went through going through the years? I mean, it's just... And then you have Weinstein. Everyone knew about Weinstein. Everyone. There's a video of Courtney Love. Courtney Love being interviewed in like 2011 or some shit like that, where she's at some award show. And this little Asian girl comes up to her and says, "Hey, Courtney Love, do you have any advice for any young actresses trying to make it in Hollywood?" And Courtney looks over at her friend and she goes, "Should I say it? Fuck it. Yeah, if you get invited to a private meeting with Harvey Weinstein, don't take it." Bill Cosby. Everyone knew about Bill Cosby. If you listen to the old actors and actresses that knew him, they all talk about how they were leery of him because they knew he was like this. Absolutely nothing I say is false. Everything I say can be backed up by a simple Google search. Why do you think I don't get any real opposition? Why do you think the only opposition that ever comes my way only says stupid shit? If I was wrong about anything, I mean, I say it pretty arrogantly. I talk pretty arrogantly, pretty confidently. So you would think if I was wrong, all these people that supposedly hate me would be really quick to tell me what I'm wrong about, but they don't. False. Right. Yep. It's false. Yep. I'm wrong. I mean, just look at Jimmy Savile. Yeah, as well. People going to act like they don't. Yeah. I mean, Jimmy Savile, it's not just Savile. I mean, it's across the board. What's the guy that did the hey, that for Gary Glitter. Gary Glitter's another one of those fucking guys. Like, these guys were everywhere. There's a guy called Terry Richardson that none of you know about. But if you Google Terry Richardson nude and then you click images, you're going to see shit that'll blow your mind. This dude took pictures of him fucking everyone. There's pictures of him standing naked with Johnny Knoxville, Jared Leto. There's a really, really fun picture of a shirtless, maybe 15, I don't know, Macaulay Culkin in black and white, where he's doing a cum spit. I mean, if you watch porn, you know what a cum spit is. Somebody might just think, oh, he's just spitting. He's doing a cum spit. He's young. Terry Richardson is a bad, bad dude. Dan Schneider, like, everybody knows about Dan Schneider. And now you'll see old man interviews of Dan Schneider going, I can't, everybody's saying these things. If I can't, and if they're saying these things, I can't deny them. And I just want everybody to know that I'm very sorry if I ever hurt you. Go the fuck on. Like, loads of anti-Semitic stuff. Who's anti-Semitic here? Like, this is, again, how stupid you are. I've already educated you on the difference between the words, and you still fucking go with it. I am 100% proud of my anti-Semitism because I know what words mean. Anti-Semitic refers to all of the people of the region. Black, white, brown, Arabic, Christian, J. Semitic is all of the people of the region. So that's a racist term when you say anti-Semitic. Semitism, as you will see in a second, we'll come back to BlackRock. So, just so you guys have no fucking questions, Semitism, definition, Merriam-Webster. Number 1A, Semitic character or qualities. Number 1B, a characteristic feature of a Semitic language occurring in another language. Number 2, policy or predisposition favorable to Jays. You see that? So when you don't know what words mean, you say things wrong, right? You sound like an idiot. Especially when you're trying to make me sound like the bad guy. But you also know you can't knock me for my anti-Semitism. How can you knock something I'm proud of? People have their THERE own opinions. Not only is that a stupid thing somebody says, but then you see even dumber. I can't believe what the Hispanics are doing with Team Jorge, says Kelby Heisenberg. Right? This is stupid. This is a stupid fucking person. But hey, I appreciate the reminder. We should be talking about Team Jorge. Like I tell everybody, if there's anything that you take away from this video, it's that you go look up Team Jorge Israel, Team Jorge, and you look up the Samson option. Those are just start with those things. Team Jorge, in its like this dumbass said, the Hispanics, that's what Team Jorge is designed to do. That's why it's called Team Jorge. It's to make you think the South Americans are bad. Gee, isn't that weird? There's a lot of things that seem to make us think the South Americans are bad, the Mexicans are bad, the Hispanics are bad. But they call it Team Jorge just to hide. But Team Jorge is Israel, is that dumbass person, Kelly Heisenberg. She's probably an Israeli bot. That's what Team Jorge is. Should we prove that too? You guys want a little proof of that? Team Jorge, Israel. Okay, so ready? Because, you know, I'm making it all up, right? Team Jorge is the name given to an outfit of Israeli contractors specialized in the use of malign cyber activities, including hacking, sabotage, and bot farm-run social media disinformation campaigns to manipulate the outcomes of elections. Right? So if they can manipulate the outcomes of elections, then YouTube videos are nothing. Of course they can do that. One of the organization's primary tools is a software package called AIMS, Advanced Impact Media Solutions. The group was exposed in February 2023 after an award-winning undercover operation by journalists from Israel and France as part of a consortium of investigative journalists coordinated by Forbidden Stories. The organization has been active since at least 2015. According to Tal Hanan, the leader, Tal, T-A-L, Hanan, H-A-N-A-N, Team Jorge has been active for over 20 years. But the only thing this expose could show was on paper back to 2015. You know, the 2015 election that Russia interfered with. The organization has been active since at least 2015 and boasts of having manipulated 33 presidential elections worldwide, many of them in Africa, in 27 cases with successful results. The activities were revealed following a 2022 sting operation in Tel Aviv carried out by 3 undercover journalists who posed as prospective clients and filmed their interactions with Tal Hanan, the group's leader and former Israeli Special Forces operative, in which he explained the inner workings of the organization. Tal Hanan used the pseudonym Jorge when working with Hacking and Disinformation Group, which inspired the name Team Jorge. Understand, Team Jorge got exposed, and Tal Hanan said they have some 40,000 bots at their disposal, right? Team Jorge is just one. And Team Jorge wasn't disbanded. That narrative doesn't end with Team Jorge getting exposed and then shutting down. Team Jorge is still operating. They have 40,000 bots at their disposal. They had 40,000 bots at their disposal in 2022. So I would assume 3 years later, they probably have some more. Think about it. Let me ask you this. If it's nothing, why didn't all the big news organizations cover it? This is proof. Like they tell you Russia interfered with the election in 2015, apparently to help Trump win when Trump lost by 2.7 million votes, and the swamp full of Jays that he said he was going to drain put him in anyway. You guys remember that? Like, we can't even talk about that without being labeled anti-Semitic, and that's weird. Be proud of the label. And correct people. The most powerful thing you can do in that situation, when somebody calls you anti-Semitic, you just laugh at them. You say, wow, you're dumb. You don't know what words mean. And they'll be like, what? What do you mean? And you explain to them, Semitic refers to all of the people. What you're talking about is Semitism, and I am proud to not support supremacy in any ways. Semitism equals supremacy. Policy or predisposition favorable to your group is supremacy. So I absolutely welcome the label. Go ahead, call me all the stupid things you want. Yes, let's see. People are so programmed that they react versus respond and don't even realize they are blind, unable to question things due to it being supposedly observed. Well, again, you have to understand that a good portion of the fucking idiots on here are bots. They're Team Jorge bots. It's what it is. Yes, language also shapes our perception too. People don't realize that it undermines our deeper understanding more than it facilitates superficial communication. Indigenous people didn't label things. It is the visceral reactions to anything, Jay. Even those taking a neutral stance get pushback. I love it though. See, the thing is, again, like just like the comments. If you're here just to talk shit, then you're going to, if I screw something up or I get something wrong, you're absolutely going to focus on it. Right? That's your goal, is to make me look bad, blah, blah, blah. So the fact that they can't actually deny anything I'm saying, the fact that all you get is stupid fucking comments, it's like evidence, lack of evidence is actually evidence against. People don't think about it that way. But the fact that people claim, Jesus, God, blah, 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 and there's no evidence, that shows you that shit isn't real. Something like Jesus, God, blah, that would have a lot of evidence. And you should look at that like it is with everything. If they want you to believe something, there should have a lot of evidence. The whole submarines thing. You should be able to look up, go on YouTube and put submarines underwater and see a whole bunch of videos. It's 2025. Where are the fucking videos, man? I see countless videos of the submarine floating along the top of the water. I see tons of videos of crew inside the submarine not being affected by the motion of the water or the motion of the vehicle even a little bit. But a video on the front of the submarine or a video from around, outside the sub watching it, that shit doesn't exist. There's 2 of those videos. One is some people who were supposedly snorkeling or scuba diving, and a fucking goofy fake looking submarine floats underneath them. And the other one is this video that's clearly a model. It's clearly a model. Let's see. Look down. Look at all the dumb shit. Look at all the dumb shit. People in here actually buying this crap? LOL. Right. So instead of saying that, why don't you tell me what part is wrong, you flat out dumbass? Anyway, a lot of these people seem to not want us to talk about BlackRock. So let's talk about BlackRock. BlackRock. BlackRock Israel. I have no idea what you're talking about. Welcome to the BlackRock site. Oh. Well, I then have to let a whole bunch of cookies onto the phone, and I'm not about to do that. That's really weird that's what came up, BlackRock Israel. I wasn't looking up BlackRock Israel. I was just looking up BlackRock. You know that BlackRock seemingly only hires Jays, right? At least at the top positions. But let's see. BlackRock is an American multinational investment company founded in 1988 and initially as an enterprise risk management and fixed income institutional asset manager. Only the Jays, man. Only the Jays are like, hey, why don't you pay me to tell you how to spend your money? And we're like, oh, okay. You guys are supposedly good with money, even though I'm not saying that. But you guys are so okay.
It's easy to be good with money when you keep getting tons of it for free.
Right.
Bar mitzvahs and fucking all the shit that they get.
Right. And like, we don't understand how much money the average goofy little 13-year-old man gets for his bar mitzvah.
It's disgusting. I've worked those parties. I've been to those parties.
You're talking about like many tens of thousands of dollars for a 13-year-old who is now considered a man in his family.
Like a more of a blue collar, if you could say, but more of a blue collar group of people that go to or have a bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah.
I mean, bat mitzvahs aren't shit. That's why most of us don't really know what a bat mitzvah is, but we've heard of bar mitzvahs. They're the girls.
It's just the girl.
Yeah, it's just a girl. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, okay, yeah, well, that's let them feel special too. Blah blah. They got to make the penises.
But
if we don't have the girls, they don't make the penises, and we don't get to suck them.
Some of the lower income bar mitzvahs, they get like 30 grand. You know, the higher end bar mitzvahs, they're getting 100.
Oh yeah, for a 13-year-old.
13-year-old kid.
No, a 13-year-old man.
Bullshit.
He's allowed to talk to his mother how he wants to. He's considered a man in his house.
Oh, I remember when Jason fucking...
You should debate people. Yep. People refuse to talk. I'd love to debate people. I would love it if people came on here and made intelligent arguments to the contrary. But how can you? How can anybody make an argument to justify the pedo stuff, or the genocide, or the slavery, or the cutting and sucking of baby penises while they eat the fucking placenta and the foreskin, or the fact that they think women's vaginas are fucking disgusting? Like, what? How could you even begin to argue that? They can't. You've been told a lot. You just don't listen. Yup, I just don't listen to dumb Jays. And no, isn't it funny how instead of telling me what you have to say, telling me what I'm getting wrong and how, you're just going to say, oh, I did say it before. Again, it's like when you say, hang on one second.
He's wrong.
It's one thing when you say, it's like when you say to somebody, hey, do you know what this means? And they go, yeah, I know, but why don't you tell me just so I can see if you know? Like, that's the argument that you guys give me all the time. Oh, well, I did say something before, so say it again. Why not?
All I've heard is, you're wrong.
Right.
You're wrong, but not why or how.
Now he's going to talk. Now the same person's going to talk to the other people. His opinion is the only one that matters. They do all the time. You grab snippets of outdated and ludicrous info and you ignore them. Your only response is to read their comments in a stupid voice. Yup, that's the only thing I do. I don't directly address every stupid comment. Well, not every, because there'd be a lot of them. But I don't directly address the stupidity that you said, just like I'm doing right now. No. No, and they have a lot. Really? I use outdated information. You mean like YouTube and the news? I mean like Wikipedia and news articles and stuff? I mean, Team Jorge is 2022 was exposed. The operation took place in 2022. And the expose came out in 2023. How outdated is that? And as far as the cutting and sucking of baby penises, they still do that. I just read something where a rabbi was like, hey, what's wrong with it? I've done thousands of these. Never had an issue. He's had thousands of baby penises in his mouth. Bloody baby penises. People clearly don't read the Torah. It's not about the Torah. It's about the Talmud. The Talmud is their fucking real book. But go ahead. Like, I just learned all this. There are translations, and I recommend people reading them. I mean, yes and no. You don't need to read the whole fucking thing.
But you do have to know thine enemy.
Right, absolutely know thy enemy. But, like a lot of it is you wasting your time reading. Like, if you read anything, Jay, right? You know how they talk, and they talk so stupid, and they keep saying the same thing over and over again? They just reiterate themselves. They just keep repeating, and they just say the same thing over and over again?
It's called programming.
Well, but it's that redundancy that you like, it's very difficult. You know, most of the things they say, they could say them in like 1 or 2 lines, but because they say it 15 times, it's fucking ridiculous. Oh, literally just did it. Still, yep. Religious sect. Yep. That's what it is. So again, you're saying nonsense. Instead of pointing to direct things that I'm getting wrong, you're just saying, even better. How about this? This is the one that I was saying yesterday that didn't seem to get any responses. Why don't you tell me something good the Jays bring to the world? That shouldn't be too difficult, should it?
Jesus.
Give me something good that warrants and justifies us giving them $3.8 billion a year. Them being this untouchable cult who's allowed to do horrible shit like genocide and fucking rape children and all that other shit.
Cars. Nope. Music. No.
They don't do anything. The bottom line is
Diamond.
it's not what people realize. I'm sure in the general public, they wouldn't be blindly defending it for virtue points. They don't know. What woman is going to be like, you should belong to that organization that thinks your vagina is so disgusting that nobody's, that if you say, hey, can you pass me a spoon while you're in that 7-day window, whatever, your husband will put the spoon on the table and then you pick it up. He doesn't touch you because your vagina is so fucking disgusting. And then after you're done with your menstruation, you have to go to this mikvah. The mikvah is built before the temple is even built. It's so, because the Jays want to get laid, right? But since they can only get laid when you're clean, and by clean, that means you go into some water that's like standing water. It's old standing rainwater, or what it has to be collected a certain way. And it doesn't get replenished all the time. It's just this old nasty ass water.
It had to be flowing water.
Nope. Nope. No, it has to flow into it.
Tube that has no bends.
That's how it gets. That's how you fill it. But once it's filled, remember, then they can top it off with tap water if they need to. That doesn't go against the rules. Topping it off, but filling it, you have to fill it with the pipe that doesn't have any bends and shit like that. But this is, again, instead of sitting here debating about the negatives, somebody please tell me a positive. That shouldn't be so hard to do. Like, I shouldn't be able to say, give me a positive that the Jays contribute, and you just have nothing. Give me something. They're not even like innovators or anything like that. All of the inventions from, greatest inventions that we made them. Goyim made them. They just get the credit. They just take it. They just do whatever. They've literally given us everything. Oh yeah, see what kind of dumb shit this dumbass bot says? Instead of giving us specific, now they've given us everything. Oh yeah. Everything. It's the black people it's the Jays that invented the car, like Angela said, right? It's the Jays that invented flight. It's the Jays that invented peanut butter. It's the Jays that invented television. They control it.
All those amazing musicians.
Yeah. Nope.
All those amazing painters.
Just keep searching and exploring. It's sad people look for negatives rather than honest, good faith debate and learning. But if they were up against lesser competition, they'd be okay with debating. But again, what debate could you make? That's the thing. That's the part that people need to really look at and understand. This should not be difficult. They should have a whole bunch of good shit that the Jays give us. A whole bunch of good shit that the Jays make the world go better because of this. And they have nothing. The greatest work of fiction ever. The Bible? Again, this is just stupid. The Bible's not good. Christianity is not good. These are horrible, horrible things. Responsible for horrible, horrible events. It's not good that comes out of that shit. And anything that is supposedly good that comes from Christianity can be found elsewhere. We don't need Christianity. If Christianity was removed, we'd still have all those things. All you people out there that are like, God inspired me to quit drinking. Well, God sure let you drink for a long time, didn't he? And to pretend like there wasn't many, many times before that you were praying to God to help you get through it, or promising God if you just wake up, then you'll quit, and you didn't. It was only when you did it that you saw results, positive results. But see, again, it's been at least 5 minutes since I asked for some good shit that the Jays bring to the world. Why is my feed not inundated with thing after thing after thing? These people get $3.8 billion a year from the U.S. alone. Another $2 billion from Canada, 1.2 from Australia.
All the athletes. Oh, wait.
Yeah, all those J athletes out there.
The sculptors. Oh, shit.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to all the ancient art, the Da Vinci's, the Monet's, I know, that's she said the painter. All of them. None of those are like the Heisenbergs. How do you pay for drugs with your food stamps? Yep, that's what it is. So instead of saying something good about the Jays, this person makes some dumb statement to try to shoot the messenger.
I wish we got food stamps. Shit, that's free money. That's fucking.
We've paid for it. We've already paid for it. It's not free.
True.
We paid for that shit. You stupid? Don't be stupid. That's not free money.
Well, it is for the Johns of the world.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, yeah, he doesn't pay taxes, so.
Owns a business. And if his income was actually documented, it would be way more than, what would qualify him for it.
Let's see. Phones aren't real too. Yep. Who are the Jays? Pretty easy to figure out. I'm experiencing this existence the way God intended, sober and suffering. LOL. Yeah, that's crazy. There is no God. The whole concept of God was given to you by the Jays. Stop it. God's chosen people. Right. It's the most arrogant thing that people say and nobody talks about it. No. All of you are just goyim.
Cattle.
Everything that isn't born them is considered goyim. And it's not even cattle, because cattle are considered goyim. Your bed, tables, chairs, cars, everything is considered goyim that isn't them. You want to talk about a disgustingly supremacist, arrogant viewpoint? We are chosen by God, the supreme being. You know how in your Bible, Satan isn't the actual bad guy? They are the bad guys. Abraham is the head bad guy. And yet we call them the three Abrahamic religions. They're literally telling you where it comes from. They are the Abrahamic religions. And it's funny because Muslims think Muslims are the best. Jays definitely think Jays are the best. But Christians think that the bad guys of the Bible, the people that killed their superhero, their Jesus, who happens to be Christian God's only kid, those people are Christian God's chosen favorite people. How does that make sense? It's documented. Look into it. What is?
Documented by whom?
Right.
Who wrote that?
Right. What documentation are you talking about?
And I could say it's documented, but gorillas are purple.
But
I wrote it down. It's documented.
But see, the thing is,
Great paper.
if you had a better thing to say, you would have said it. If you could say, no, dude, this, you would have said it. But you can't.
Kids have written some brilliant shit when they were little. Documented.
This guy lives next to submarines. Yeah, I'm sure he does. If you mean Jays, then we got Albert Einstein. Yeah, the biggest fraud ever.
Right.
The guy who worked at the patent office before he suddenly became this inventor.
None of his ideas were his own. Look into it. It's documented.
Not to mention, he was a joke among real scientists.
Yes. Because he was an idiot.
He was an idiot. The whole theory of relativity is fucking stupid. The idea that he was watching a train one day and came up with this theory of it's fucking stupid.
He read somebody else's report that they were turning in for patent.
But his whole thing is gravity based and all this other shit. And real scientists at least the more real scientists we're told about, like Tesla, the character Tesla, used to laugh at Einstein. He's a fucking clown. He was a clown.
Tesla stole shit.
It doesn't particularly matter, but he was really fucking smart. No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Abraham wants you to suffer, so his God is in control. Right. Internet isn't real. I mean, how could it possibly an image travel through the air? I mean, again, look at the desperation that some people have.
And why are you here?
Right. Instead of actually making legitimate points, you just keep saying stupid shit that makes me look better. Like, what are you even doing? The Talmud says so. Yes. Yeah, the Talmud. That's a good book there. The one that says, again, as long as if a goyim rapes a child, that's awful. We should be put to death. But as long as the child is 3 years and 1 day old, then if a J rapes the child now becomes their property, and they have to pay the full dowry for the child. They don't condemn it. You know, the Talmud is fucking insane. The shit that they say, the way they look, if you find a Goyim wallet, you can keep it. If you find a chosen wallet, well, you have to return it with everything in it. But if you find a Goyim wallet, keep that shit. Where would I for 40 years a year and above my hand, nothing to ring, give me the first civilization to pray to God. If you're so smart, give me the first civilization to pray to God, Mr. Genius. That's something, somebody literally said that in the comments. Wow. If you don't believe this part of the thing you're told, well, what about this part of the thing you're told? People don't realize it's good to hear other religions and other views. It's not good to hear it. It's good to know what that shit's about, but that doesn't make it good. It's good to know what those cults, they are cults. What the cults think of you. But it's all stupid. Like if you're going to believe it, then you should know it front to back. You know, that's the thing I never understand about Christians. Like I always ask Christians, okay, you know it, right? What's the first thing your God does after it turns on the light? Right? It doesn't make the sun and the moon for 4 days, so I don't know how we have days to begin with. But what's the first thing your God does when it turns on the light? It makes the firmament. The indestructible dome. But you don't know that. And then you also believe in the Big Bang. And you also believe in the James Webb and the Hubble telescope. And you believe all that shit. You believe both. You contradict yourself. But that's okay. Oh, I was responding to someone else's comments. I was talking about Albert Einstein being a fraud. He is a fraud. Robert Oppenheimer ain't real. Yeah. Literally in the link I'm on it. Blah, 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 blah. Very true. He was stupid. People, it's just his views and his theories. Give him a minute to listen to his views. And if you don't like them, change the channel. No. Don't change the channel. Help me understand. Help me learn. It's funny because it's like, do you guys think I started this way? I was raised in the exact same environment you were. I was raised to believe the earth is round ball flying through space, gravity and all that shit. I was raised to believe that the Jays are God's chosen people and we are not to talk about them. Good or bad, we are not to talk about them. I was raised in the same environment you were until I came across information that changed my mind. So, provide me with information and change my mind again. Why is that so difficult? I mean, I guess for people so low level that they still think the same way they thought at 10 years old or whatever, then I guess that might be difficult. But I think if you really ask yourself, like especially all you Christians out there, right? All you God Bible thumpers out there. Do you believe that because as an adult you've seen stuff to make you believe it? Or do you believe it because you were told this narrative as a child and scared into it and, the idea of a God that loves you sending you to burn in hell for all of eternity because you didn't follow the rules. Like, that's fucking stupid. Dude, 40 to 45. Oh, man, thanks. But at 45, that probably means I've experienced a hell of a lot more than your dumbass has, right? Like, you can't even be bothered to spell all your words right. I love how I'm getting a lecture on how relativity is J theft science from God's chosen crack addict.
What?
What? Like, what are you even saying? That's how desperate you are. Instead of you saying, actually, dude, I think you're wrong about that because of this, you're like, I gotta say something. I gotta say something. Look like you're YOUR 70. You know how I just said this person's stupid and doesn't use the right words and doesn't spell? There you go. Literally, the very next comment. Lorenz and Paniker already documented the findings in Einstein, a 1905 paper way before Einstein published it. You know what? The thing is, when you get to this point where it's actually kind of surprising to me that this isn't happening for more people. But when you get to the point where you even entertain the idea of resets, you know, of a Tartaria. I mean, how anybody can deny Tartaria is fucking crazy. My wife tried to. She was like, what's that? Blah, blah, blah. Who cares? What's that got to do with anything? This, that, and the other. But when you realize that, like, an entire civilization has been hidden from you, because they were very important as far as history goes, and none of us learned about it. Why? You know, this is when you start asking yourself these questions, and when you start to realize that there's a good chance that there was a reset. Look at all the buildings, look at the churches, look at the castles, look at all the skyscrapers, the pyramids, all that shit that donkey people were supposedly building. Tunnels under the Thames River in 1850 or something like that?
I mean, just anything before 1900
is hearsay. And really, anything, you only, like I said this before, you only know what's in your existence, your immediate existence, to be true. I live with my wife and my 2 kids, and I might think I know them, but there's plenty of things that my wife either purposefully keeps from me or just doesn't even think about it. I don't know her 100%. And that's, you know, you have to understand that everything that we're given is literally that. Narratives we are given that you either choose to believe or you choose not to. And the problem with most of you that believe it is that you don't bother to look into it and really try to understand what the narrative is. You know, the tunnel system underneath Chicago that was dug and built in 1860. And like, what are we... was already there in 1860, actually. But if you believe in resets, Tartaria, all that shit, then anything that comes before that reset time is bullshit. 100% bullshit. Just like anything that comes after it that doesn't tell you about resets is bullshit. It's that simple. It's all bullshit. All right, so we've gotten this far, and now they've shut us down pretty severely. So why don't we reset and come back? So get your free download. Link is in the description. Like, share, sub, and come right back because we're going to come right back.